So we just saw the preparation of nitric acid and also the manufacturing process of nitric acid, which, as I told you, is not in the syllabus. Now we see the physical properties of nitric acid. So physical property wise, the first thing is color. So color, pure acid, that is 98% pure nitric acid, is colorless. It is not having any color, but the commercial acid, which is 68% concentration, is yellowish brown in color. Odor, it is suffocating odor. Taste is sour to taste. Physiological nature, non-poisonous but highly volatile, highly corrosive. So it is highly corrosive kind of acid which is non-poisonous. Density, it is heavier than water. Pure acid density is specific gravity 1.54 and commercial acid specific gravity is 1.42. Solubility wise, highly soluble in water. Constant boiling mixture forms a constant boiling mixture with water forming 120 at 121 degrees Celsius containing 68% of the acid. So yes, at 121 degrees Celsius, the if you are heating a particular nitric acid to make it more concentrated, you will find that it will be stopping at 68% concentration, because after that the जितना amount of water निकलेगा उतना ही amount of HNO3 vapors will also come out, and that's the reason you will be maintaining the percentage concentration of that acid at 68% concentration at 121 degrees Celsius. So constant boiling mixture at 121 degrees Celsius. Boiling point, pure acid, that is at pure acid boiling point is 86 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it is going to boil at 86 degrees Celsius, and freezing point is minus 42 degrees Celsius. So freezes to a white solid having melting point at minus 42 degrees Celsius. So you can see it is quite easily converting into solid. Now, as far as this nitric acid contact with the skin is concerned, yes, it is dangerous. It is affects the skin if accidentally falls on it. Nitric acid has an extremely corrosive action on the skin and causes painful blisters. It combines with the protein of the skin forming a yellow compound, xanthopropyc acid, and hence stains the skin yellow. So our body contains protein, so this protein is going to react with the nitric acid, and it is going to react and form into an acid called as xanthopropyc acid. So xanthopropyc acid is yellowish in color. That's why you will get a yellow colored stain. Of course, some blisters will be there, plus the yellow colored stain will be formed on the skin when nitric acid falls on your skin. Now, distillation or boiling cannot be used to concentrate nitric acid beyond a certain concentration. As I told you, you cannot concentrate nitric acid for more than 68% concentration by boiling, because at 121 degrees Celsius it forms a constant boiling mixture. So, a constant boiling mixture at 121 degrees Celsius and contains 68% acid. A constant boiling mixture is one which boils without change in composition. Hence, on boiling, the above mixture evolves out the vapors of both acids and water in the same proportion as in the liquid. So, if you heat it beyond 121 degrees Celsius, then what is happening is the amount of water which is going to evaporate and the amount of HNO3 vapors which are going to be formed over there is going to be same. Accordingly, the concentration of the acid or the liquid is going to remain the same. So the dilute nitric acid cannot be concentrated beyond 68% by boiling. So beyond 68% you cannot boil, you cannot keep on increasing the concentration just by boiling process. Further concentration of acid is only possible by distillation of acid under reduced pressure in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. This gives nitric acid of about 98% purity. 98% acid is commonly known as fumic nitric acid. So fumic nitric acid is going to be formed, which is 98% concentration of nitric acid, which is going to be formed only when you are going to distill it in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So concentrated sulfuric acid, when we are adding to this nitric acid and we are going to distill it, then you can have the distilled form of nitric acid at 98% concentration. So, and that too under reduced pressure. Now we see the chemical properties of nitric acid. So first and foremost is the stability part of nitric acid. Nitric acid, as I told you earlier also, it is an unstable compound. It is not so stable. Hence, even a slight amount of heat is going to decompose the nitric acid into NO2 plus H2O plus O2. That's the reason pure nitric acid is colorless and stay unstable and decomposes slightly even at ordinary temperature or in presence of sunlight. The decomposition results in formation of reddish brown nitrogen dioxide which remains dissolved in the acid, thus imparting a slight yellowish brown color. So we have over here that 4HNO3 is going to give me, on slight even heating or just a slight amount of sunlight present over there, it is going to get converted into NO2 plus, so it is 4NO2 plus 2H2O plus O2. So this is what is going to be formed when this nitric acid is going to be just allowed to be at room temperature, or it is allowed to come in contact with a slight amount of sunlight or slight heating. So yes, it decomposes very fast too, and mainly the presence of NO2 over here gives this acid, which was originally colorless, a yellowish colored acid. So yellowish brown color is given to the liquid due to this presence of this thing. At higher temperatures or after a prolonged period of time, the decomposition is complete and the acid turns to dark yellowish brown color, and because of the formation of this particular equation. The color of the acid can be removed by warming the acid to around 60 to 80 degrees Celsius and bubbling air through it. So once you are cooling it to 60 to 80 degrees Celsius and warming it, so not cooling it, warming it to 60 to 80 degrees Celsius, and you are adding some amount of air to it, then this is going to get oxidized and form into nitric acid again. The constant nitric acid kept in plain glass bottles turn yellow or yellowish brown in color. So that is one of the give reason questions, that nitric acid, common nitric acid, constant nitric acid, when kept in a glass bottle turns a bit yellow or reddish brown. So yellowish brown. So the reason will be because it is unstable compound, and in presence of atmosphere or in ordinary temperature and a bit of sunlight, or it is going to decompose into this particular reaction, giving NO2, which gives it a yellowish color. Indicators, acid, of course. So what is going to happen? Moist litmus, it is going to turn blue to red. So methyl orange, orange to pink, and phenolphthalein, colorless to colorless. So that is the indicators. It is going to be indicating that it is acidic in nature. Now comes about the ionization of nitric acid. The chemical behavior of nitric acid is dependent on its concentration. Dilute nitric acid is almost completely ionized into H hydrogen ions and nitrate ions. So we see that dilute HNO3. So dilute HNO3 is going to give me H plus plus NO3 minus. It is just going to give me this particular kind of reaction. So of course it will be plus water over here. So accordingly this will be H3O. Okay, so this will be dilute nitric acid, which is going to give me HNO3. HNO3 is going to give me H3O plus and NO3 minus completely. There is a complete dissociation taking place, hence telling me that it is a strong acid. So it ionizes completely to hydrogen ions and nitrate ions. In aqueous solution, nitric acid hence dissociates to give one hydrogen ion per molecule of acid, and therefore it is monobasic acid. See, the number of hydrogen present over here is only 1. It has got only one H3O ion present in it. Accordingly, it is a monobasic acid. The high concentration H plus ion imparts acidic nature to it. So yes, it is going to impart an acidic nature to it, and accordingly you have the acidic properties. So all the typical acidic properties are going to be shown by the dilute nitric acid. Dilute nitric acid acts as a complete acid because of all things. Like first one is NaOH के साथ में reaction. So what is going to happen with NaOH? What is NaOH? Base. So base plus HNO3. What is going to give me? Salt plus water. So NaNO3 plus H2O. So yeah, NaNO3, it it is going to give me NaNO3 plus H2O. The next one is FeOH thrice plus HNO3 is going to give me FeNO3 twice plus H2O. So acid plus base gives you salt plus water is the first kind of reaction which is going to take place. The next thing will be about the carbonates. So we have the carbonates CaCO3 plus HNO3. So what is the reaction? It will be CaNO3 twice plus H2O plus CO2. Yes, so CO2 is going to be given out because it is carbonates reacting with an acid giving me salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. Similarly, there could be another example of FeCO3 plus HNO3 giving me FeNO3 twice plus H2O plus CO2. So this also gives me CO2 over here. Here, another important thing will be CuCO3 again plus HNO3. Now, this is something slightly going to be unique because copper is below hydrogen, but still it is displacing this thing because hydrogen over here being acidic in nature gives you this reaction of CuNO3 twice plus H2O plus CO2. So the formation of CO2 is there even for copper carbonates. And lastly is sulfides, bisulfides. So CaHSO3 twice plus HNO3. I'm not balancing out the equations because it's not required right now. We are just understanding it. You can balance it while writing the answers. All the answers, whenever you write it, you will have to balance each and every one of them. So H2O plus SO2. So bisulfide is going to give me sulfur dioxide. So that is a typical kind of the reactions which is going to take place with an acid, but only in case of dilute ones. So dilute ones is going to act as a typical acid giving you neutralization reaction, carbonates ka reaction, bisulfides ka reaction. Pure or concentrated nitric acid is poorly ionized. You can see the pure and pure will be 98% pure. That means it has got only less amount of water. Less amount of water means less amount of H3O. So because of low ionization and hence its oxidizing property tends to be predominant, and accordingly what will happen, the moment you are going to react it, its oxidizing property that it is giving you its property to oxidize. So it's a very strong oxidizing agent. The nitric acid, concentrated nitric acid is a very good oxidizing agent. So that is more prominent in concentrated or hot concentrated nitric acid. So now next we see is the example or the chemical reactions what are going to take place with nitric acid as a strong oxidizing agent. So understood this part. So this was neutralization, base plus acid with salt plus water. This was simple reaction with base plus acid with salt plus water. This is with carbonates. Carbonates will use salt plus water per carbon dioxide. Again salt plus water per carbon dioxide. Again salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. Bisulfides are going to give salt plus water plus sulfur dioxide. So these are typical examples of the acidic property of nitric acid, but only in case of dilute nitric acid. Now we see how concentrated nitric acid is going to behave. So we have that nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent. The oxidizing property of nitric acid is based on the fact that when nitric acid undergoes decomposition, it yields nascent oxygen. See, we knew that nitric acid is going to decompose and it is going to give you NO2 plus H2O plus O2. Now this O2 what you get is after some time. Originally what you get is a nascent oxygen. So if anything is coming in present over there, then it is going to get attacked by the nascent oxygen, and hence that substance is going to get oxidized before O2 can be formed. So that's the reason the presence of that nascent oxygen makes nitric acid a very, very strong oxidizing agent. So we see over here that when you have HNO3, it is going to be hot and concentrated. So we have it hot or concentrated. it is going to give me in the reaction as H2O plus NO2 plus O. This is what is going to be received by us. So this is the equation what is going to be formed, H2O plus 2NO2 plus O nascent. So this is the nascent oxygen over here. Now when it is going to come in contact with anything, like suppose we are talking about copper. So what will happen? This, suppose you are taking copper and this copper is going to react with this O over here and it is going to form CuO. Now once the Cu is formed, this CuO plus HNO3 further when it reacts, it is going to give me CuNO3 twice plus H2O. So accordingly what is going to happen? If you see the total reaction over here, CuO के बदले हम लोग ने पहले क्या लिया था? Cu लिया था, साथ में क्या लिया है? HNO3 लिया है. So we have taken 4 HNO3 over here. Don't see the numbers because the numbers are only for balancing, so that anyway you get doubled. And then it is going to give you, what is the end result? One of the end result is this one, CuNO3 twice. The other end result is water, so you are going to get water plus 2H2O. And next what you are going to get is going to be the nascent NO2. So this NO2 is what going to get over. So 2NO2. So it will be 2NO2. So you can see that copper is getting nitrate is going to be added to the copper by the nitric acid. So that's why we say it is getting oxidized. Copper is getting oxidized. That's why we say that nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent. Why it's oxidizing agent? Because a negative electronegative compound is being added to the metals. That's why it is going to be called as oxidizing. So that's the process. So we have over here that HNO3 moderate concentrated will be H2O plus. Now if it is moderately concentrated, this is for hot and concentrated. Yeah. Now if it is moderately concentrated, the H2 and HNO3, if it is moderately concentrated, so if it is not too concentrated, then it is going to give me H2O plus NO. So instead of NO2, it gives me NO and it is giving me 3 nascent oxygen. So the nascent oxygen oxidizes the non-metals, metals, inorganic and organic compounds. So when nascent oxygen, see anything in nascent is very reactive, because nascent actually वो रह नहीं सकता. See, nascent means it is not in a molecular form. When it is not in a molecular form, that means it cannot freely exist in nature. So इसलिए क्या है, वो मरने वाला है, ऐसे कंडीशन में आ गया तो वो क्या है, किसको भी जो भी मिले उसको पकड़ लेगा, you know. So that is the kind of attitude that particular nascent thing will be having. So accordingly, ये nascent जैसे ही बनेगा, it is going to take hold of anything, whatever is available. Copper मिला तो copper, जो भी मिला उसको चिपक जाएगा. Right? So that is why the formation of nascent oxygen which is formed during the decomposition of nitric acid is a very important thing. So here we see that nascent oxygen oxidizes non-metals, metals, inorganic, organic, कोई भी compound रहेगा उसको बैठ जाएगा. Nitric acid itself undergoes reduction in the number of ways, and hence a number of reduction products, that is NO, NO2, N2O, etc. are formed depending on the acid concentration and the temperature of the reaction. So see, because this itself is going to get decomposed, that's why you are getting a lot of products from nitric acid directly. You can get NO2, you can get NO, you can get N2O. All the different forms of nitrates can, nitric and nitrogen oxides and nitrogen dioxides can be formed by nitric acids ka decomposition, because itself is getting reduced. So that is about the. Now we see the reactions of the concentrated nitric acid and dilute nitric acid with non-metals and metals. Okay, so we see one by one the reactions now. Now first we'll take the concentrated nitric acid. So first is conc HNO3. So we'll first say what will happen with non-metals. So non-metals, reaction with non-metals. First one is carbon. So if we take carbon with HNO3, it is going to give me, now you can see that as I told you, oxygen is going to be formed which is going to oxidize carbon. So it is going to give me CO2 plus H2O plus NO2. Okay. With sulfur, the similar kind, 6 है, 6HNO3, it is going to give me SO2 plus 2, sorry, it is not going to be H2, it is going to give me H2SO4 plus 2H2O plus SO2. Yeah, NO2. Okay, now see this. Carbon is going to give me carbon dioxide, but sulfur is going to give me sulfur dioxide के बदले it is going to give me sulfuric acid. So that's the difference over here. It is going to give me sulfuric acid plus water plus NO2. NO2 is definitely going to be available with concentrated nitric acid. Similarly for phosphorus plus 5HNO3, it is going to give me the reaction as H3PO4. So you can see that if it is a strong acid formation, it is going to be formed. If it is a weak acid form, then it nahi banega. So because it requires more pressure, so this is not going to take place. And this is H2O plus NO2 will be there. H2O is only 1 and then NO2 is going to be 5. So in all the three cases, carbon, sulfur and phosphorus are thus oxidized by hot concentrated nitric acid. Hot concentrated nitric acid is going to oxidize the non-metals. Carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, all three of them are going to get oxidized to give you the acid, but here it is carbon dioxide, otherwise sulfuric acid, phosphoric acid and NO2 gas is going to be given out. So thus volatile nitric acid can be used for preparation of non-volatile sulfuric acid. So this is also going to be useful for us when we are learning the chapter sulfuric acid, because HNO3 can produce sulfuric acid. Now we come about the metals. Now for the metals, so this is different. So metals mein kya hoga? You can see that normally when we reacted the metals with the acid, the metals gave us hydrogen gas. If you remember, in the acid part, we studied that acid plus active metal gives you salt plus hydrogen gas. But in case of nitric acid, you are not going to get hydrogen gas. In fact, you cannot get hydrogen gas. You can get hydrogen gas only and only with magnesium and manganese. These are the only two places, and that too with the concentration of this nitric acid being very low. That is only 1% concentration. So if it is over here, so this one over here is going to be now with sorry, I forgot to tell you that this is not concentrated, it is now cold and very dilute HNO3. So this is for metals. For metals we are going to use cold and very dilute, only then we are getting this reactions over here, that this plus HNO3, 2HNO3 is going to give me over here MgNO3 twice plus H2. So this is going to be the reaction over here also, HNO3 giving me over here MnNO3 twice plus H2. Now this reaction is going to be seen only and only with these two metals, at this also at only 1% concentration. So concentration over here is just 1%. So it's so dilute that it is just 1% present in it. So it is very 1% acid. So it is 1% acid, only then it can give me hydrogen gas, and that too only with two metals, and that is magnesium and manganese. So magnesium and manganese, they are going to react and give me the hydrogen gas only under one condition, that is if the acid used is 1% acid. Now why is it so? Let's understand why is it so. Hydrogen is normally not liberated when dilute nitric acid acts with metals. Dilute nitric acid is generally considered typical acid except for its reaction with metals, since it generally does not liberate hydrogen on reaction with metals. So yes, We understood earlier that all the reactions what we showed over there were neutralization reaction, carbon dioxide, carbonates ka reaction, sulfide bisulfides ka reaction. They were all the reactions which were standard for an acid. But for active metals, we are not getting hydrogen. So why is it so? The nitric acid is a powerful oxidizing agent. So nitric acid is a powerful oxidizing agent, and the nascent oxygen formed on decomposition oxidizes the hydrogen to water. So what happens is that the moment you are going to react it with some metals, the metal के साथ में अगर hydrogen evolve होने वाला रहेगा, तो that hydrogen is going to react and form into water, because the oxide, that is the, or not the oxide, the nascent oxygen which is given now is going to be reacting with the hydrogen which is formed. So this hydrogen which is formed is going to react with the nascent oxygen to give you water. That's why you do not get hydrogen gas. So Mg and NO, however, Mn react with cold, very dilute nitric acid at low temperature to liberate nitrogen gas, since the oxidizing action of the acid is much reduced due to dilution. So it is just 1% acid. Because it is just 1% acid, so we are reducing the acidic property, or we are reducing the oxidation action of the acid by having it only by 1% concentration, 1% acid, and that's the reason we are able to get the hydrogen for Mg and Mn. Hence, dilute nitric acid does not normally give hydrogen on reaction with metals, but liberates nitric oxide on reaction with copper. So we can see that now we will see that how does the nitric acid, that is a dilute nitric acid, going to react and give, what does it give you on the reaction with metals. So let us see the reaction of metals. Now what we'll do is that for a comparison way, we are going to do the like, okay, पहले तीन हम लोग लेंगे copper, zinc and iron, and copper, zinc and iron we are going to react first with the dilute nitric acid, okay, and then we are going to react with the hot concentrated nitric acid. So or hot dilute or concentrated, either it is hot dilute or it is concentrated, and let's see what is the difference in the products what is going to be formed. So let's see the properties of nitric acid, that is concentrated and or hot dilute, and another is normal dilute cold. So first one is cold dilute HNO3, okay, and next what we will be seeing is hot dilute or concentrated HNO3. Okay, these are the two things what we will be having. Now let's see what happens with the first thing. So it is 3Cu plus 8HNO3 is going to give me over here 3CuNO3 twice plus 4H2O plus NO. So 2NO. Now let's see what happens over here. So it is Cu plus 4HNO3 is going to give me over here CuNO3 twice plus H2O, 2H2O plus NO2. So that is 2NO2. So you can see over here that in case of dilute nitric acid, the dilute nitric acid on reacting with copper, it gave me the nitrate, no problems. Water also it gave me, not a problem. But it gave me NO, it gave me nitric oxide, NO. But the same reaction, if I am not taking dilute, but I am taking hot dilute or I am taking concentrated, I am getting the same nitrate, same water, but we are getting nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so always remember this thing. Dilute gives me NO and concentrated gives me NO2. Of course, salt and water to mil nahi wala. Okay, nitrate, salt and water is going to be one of the part. But apart from nitrate and water, it is going to give me NO for dilute and NO2 for concentrated. You can always remember this. Concentrated यानी क्या ज़्यादा, ज्यादा यानी ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा, ऐसे करके याद कर लो. कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड में ज्यादा होता है इसलिए ऑक्सीजन ज्यादा होता है, इसलिए NO2. डाइल्यूट इज लेस ऑक्सीजन, NO. Got it? You can remember it this way, just for your understanding, so that you can not get confused. ज्यादा, no, concentrate यानी क्या? Acid ज्यादा यानी ज्यादा oxygen. That's why NO2. Right? So same thing also happens when you are going to take Zn. So if you take 3Zn, it is going to give me 8 with HNO3. It is going to give me 3Zn NO3 twice plus 4H2O plus 2NO. The same thing when I go for Zn over here, it is going to give me 4HNO3, which is going to give me ZnNO3 twice plus 2H2O plus 2NO2. So that will be the reaction for zinc. Now lastly we are going to see the reaction for iron. So if you take iron, so there's 3Fe is going to plus 8HNO3, it is going to still give me 3FeNO3 twice plus 4H2O plus 2NO. You can see the beauty of this particular thing. Remembering कितना easy है, मुझे even balancing भी learn करना easy पड़ जाता है, because सबका balancing same है, 38342 38342 पूरा याद कर सकते हैं. You know that's if CuZnFe डाल दिया, यहाँ पे भी वही CuZnFe चेंज होता है, बाकी सब कुछ same है, everything is same, there is no change anywhere, so that makes it easy to remember. Here it is the same thing, only thing there is a slight difference in the balancing. So it is HNO3 is going to give me FeNO3 thrice. Okay, this is the difference. It is going to be FeNO3 thrice, which is going to be different, plus 3H2O plus NO2. So that will be 3NO2. So that's the reaction of the nitric acids. Dilute gives me, cold dilute gives me NO, hot dilute or concentrated gives me NO2. So that is the reaction of the metals with the acid. So metals with the acid is going to be like this. Copper, zinc and iron are thus oxidized by concentrated cold dilute nitric or concentrated nitric acid. Thus the property of nitric acid which allows it to react with copper is its oxidizing nature. See, as I told you earlier also, normally क्या होता है, कॉपर तो हाइड्रोजन के नीचे है, तो कॉपर कैन नॉट डिस्प्लेस हाइड्रोजन फ्रॉम NO3. HNO3 में से हाइड्रोजन डिस्प्लेस नहीं कर सकता है कॉपर, बट formation of the nascent oxygen, okay, the formation of the nascent oxygen of HNO3 is causing this thing to happen. It is happening because of the nascent oxygen which is formed over there. So the property of HNO3 which allows it to is the oxidizing nature. It is the oxidizing nature of the nitric acid which is allowing copper to react over here. Otherwise copper would have not reacted. Now here important thing also is that pure concentrated nitric acid or fuming nitric acid renders iron and aluminum passive. So passive यानी क्या? It will not allow it to react further. So passivity or inertness is exhibited on certain metals under condition in which chemical activity is expected. So iron and aluminum are rendered passive due to the formation of thin oxide coating on the surface of the metal which prevents further reaction. So iron and copper, aluminum, they are going to stop their reaction as soon as it comes in contact with nitric acid, क्योंकि वो जैसे reaction होगा एक oxide formation हो जाता है उसका, तो aluminum oxide and iron oxide is going to be formed on it, which is not allowing the further further reaction of the metal with the acid. So if oxide layer is removed, mechanically or chemically the metals become active again. So it is just a formation, a thin layer formed initially. वो अगर हम लोग ने remove कर दिया तो फिर से होगा, फिर से coating आएगा, फिर से remove करना पड़ेगा, या तो कोई अगर chemical डाल दिया जिससे oxide नहीं बने और उसका coating नहीं बने, then it's a different issue. So that was about the passivity over here. We will continue further in the next video.